Good morning, Ali. Hi again. If you would like to participate in the draw, please write your name and your affiliation, your job title, in the comment box. And in a while, I post the link to the participation form after a few minutes. Let's start. And today, as usual, you remember how the routine goes. First, we discuss a book, which is a selection by Language Center, and then we proceed in discussing some of the books suggested by some of the Western sites. Sometimes I chose BBC Culture, but this month I chose another site. There are many suggestions for September, but I selected only 6 books to discuss this month. Again, if you have any book to tell us about, a story of a book you have read, whether this month or in the past, you are welcome. If you have any comment or question, just stop me and then tell me what you want to say. If you have any comment about the books we are discussing, also you are welcome to say anything you would like. To start, Language Center selected a book called Chestnut Street. And sorry, I think I didn't share the screen with you. 1 minute. Oh, no, I'm sharing it. Sorry. Okay. So the book for this month, it's called Chestnut Street, and it's written by Maeve Binchy. This book, in fact, is a selection of short stories. Over the years, Maeve collected observations from her life as a journalist and a novelist in Dublin and London. She created stories involving fictional Chestnut Street in Dublin and put them in a drawer for later. As the decades passed, these became a record of Ireland's changing society. After her death, her husband and her publisher presented Maeve's last gift to her readers. It's witty, it's wicked, it's weepy at times, and it's a great dip into fun. The stories included several characters. One of them was Kevin. He's a taxi driver and has an excellent story of his own, where he's witnessed the sad end of a marriage. Needing life happened through her window. That was a short story. Faye's new uncle was a very touching story about an old man whose life was changed when he calls on his niece for help. Four lonely people, that was a very sad story in my point of view. Four lonely people met in Gianni's for a fish supper every New Year's Eve because they have nowhere else to go and they have no one who cares about them. This book is long, has 400 pages, but it was a lovely opportunity to reflect on one's own life. I found several of the stories relate to my own personal life, and sometimes I stop to reflect upon my experience. The striking quotes about this book: it makes the journey through life much simpler if you please other people. Life is short. Smile. Why not please people? All that matters is the image you create of yourself. If you are to mount to anything, then you must have a seriously great sense of respect about the way you appear to others. Other quotations: the world could be all right if you just believed that it was. And if it ain't broke, why fix it? Listen to the first thing that comes into your head. It's often the right thing, and I've experienced this a lot. Good fences make good neighbors. This life was peopled only by other humans who let you down when you needed them. You shouldn't lend money unless you can afford not to get it back. I think this quotation is very true, but it's also very funny. So now this is the selection for the Language Center this month. As for the books suggested for September to be read, one of the books is called Beautiful World, Where Are You? It's written by Sally Rooney. The theme of this book is friendship, love, and class politics. Alice, a famous novelist, meets Felix, a warehouse worker, whom she takes on a publicity tour through Rome. Her best friend, Eileen, falls for Simon, a man she's known since childhood, who has always been just a little bit out of reach. The writer forms his characters in terms of the struggle with their relationships. Well, I think this book, I like such kinds of books, so maybe in the future I'll try to buy it online. Another book is called Bewilderment, and it's written by Richard Powers. It's a story of a group of eco-warriors attempted to stop the destruction of chestnut trees. Well, September is all about chestnut. I don't know, but I think writers like to write about chestnut because, I mean, it entails warmth. And September, it's supposedly the Iraq, and it's the one step to winter in other countries. So the story is about Theo Byron. He's trying to care for 9-year-old Robin, he's his son, who has a love for nature inherited from his late mother, an environmental lawyer. But Robin also has trouble controlling his anger, which is causing problems for him at school. When a new experimented neurological treatment becomes a possibility, Theo decides to have Robin enroll. Another book is called The Cloud Cuckoo Land. It's written by Anthony Doerr. 5 desperate characters, Anna and Omer, 2 young children witnessing the fall of Constantinship in 1453. Seymour and Zeno, whose lives intersect during an attempted bombing at a library in present-day Idaho. And Constance, a 14-year-old living on a spaceship drifting through the cosmos on a centuries-long voyage. Though these characters' lives are separated by time and space, they are unified by an ancient Greek fable and the enduring tradition of storytelling. The novel operates as a series of independent character studies. And while I'm reading, take the time and go to Google Forms to fill out the attendance sheet. The link is on the comment box. Thank you. Another book is entitled A Calling for Charlie Barnes. It's written by Joshua Ferris. The story is about 69-year-old Charlie Barnes, who has cancer. His business as a financial advisor is on shaky ground following the Great Recession, and his relationships with his adult children and ex-wives are strained, save for his relationship with his second-born son, Jake, who narrates the novel. Jake paints a compelling portrait of a man born in Illinois at the turn of the century, always trying to start a new business, and a cheater and a less than ideal father. But his declining health, his father's declining health, compels Charlie to make amends. Another book is called The War for Gloria. It's by Atticus Lish. 15-year-old Corey's mother, Gloria, is diagnosed with ALS, and his danger. By the way, when I read the name of the character, I thought she's a girl, but it turned out that he's a boy. Anyway, Christina's father, Leonard, told over Corey's teenage years, The war for Gloria begins as a narrative about confronting mortality and the fragility of life. Gloria uses an infinite level of detail to describe making ends meet as single mother, life in crummy apartments, and the connections one makes in the working class Boston suburbs. Another book is called, hold on 1 minute, uh, Palmyras, sorry. It's written by Gail Jones. The story is about an 8-year-old Almeida. She's learning to read from the white priest Father Tolinaire. She, her mother, and grandmother are enslaved on a Brazilian plantation, and she spends her days learning to read basic religious texts and listening to her grandmother's stories. Some call her grandmother a witch or insane, but Almeida enjoys her grandmother's nonsense stories and slowly begins to see some truth in them. As Almeida travels from plantation to plantation, her reading, writing, and language skills grow. She meets a large cast of characters, from English writers to free black folk. She marries a Muslim man, and the two find freedom and a home in Palmyras, a secret settlement where the enslaved can live free. When Portuguese soldiers raise the settlement and Almeida is separated from her husband, she embarks on a journey across Brazil to find him. Jones entwined magical realism with rich historical details and compelling characters to create a stunning epic of 17th century colonial Brazil. Well, I'll stop here because there are many other books, but I'll give you the opportunity to ask questions if you have. If not, I have 3 questions to ask. I mean, they are general, but just to, change the atmosphere because most of the time I am the only one who speaks. So think about it. If you have any question or comment, just ask. If not, I'll go ahead and ask these questions. Okay. And by the way, anyone who would like to enter the draw to win the book, write your name in the comment box. Don't forget that. My first question, and I'll write it down in the comment box, it's in Arabic, and it will be fun, I think, if you can answer it. ما هو موقع الأدب العراقي من الأدب العالمي؟ Think about it. Another question is, ما هي الأغراض التي يجب أن يخدمها الأدب العراقي بالنظر إلى الوضع الحالي في العراق؟ Because as you have seen, all the books that we are discussing, they are speaking about diseases which are common in the Western life, or sometimes, just like today, in Brazil, they talked about history about Brazil, enslavement. Sometimes they talk about, just like today, also we discussed a book about nature, people who care about nature, and the struggle they face when people try to cut trees or something like that. So think about answers to these questions. The third question: على وفق أي معايير يتعين علينا أن نحكم على الأدب العراقي؟ Don't forget to fill out the form for the attendance sheet. And if you would like to enter the draw to win the book for this month, write your name in the comment box. If you have any thoughts about the 3 questions I posted, please share them with us.